Last video, we built this thing I called the socket, and now we're on number 9 of activity 1.2.5 to build this thing that I'm going to call a spool because it looks like a thread spool to me. A couple things about the drawing to note. Dimensions are in inches, so we're going to have to make sure of that when we just start drawing. These center lines make this kind of center mark serve two purposes. First of all, they show the center mark of this, but they're also showing that this part is symmetrical across each one of those lines. So we know that this thing is a square that is this shape right here. Now it's going to be your job to build the overall spool part without the holes in it, and then this video will help you with how to put those holes in. Now, before you start on this, you're going to have to build the stool part, but I do want to show you one thing. First of all, we're going to start a new design. So we're going to come up here to create, we're going to do design, and we're going to go over here to design. No, I'm sorry. Let's go up here to file. There we go. And we want a new design. All right. Now, your other design should still be open also, but here we are in a new design. So my socket is still there. I'm in a new design. Okay. And it's going to be your job, again, to build the spool looking thing without the holes in it. I'm going to show you one thing before you get started, like I said. So here we go. So one of the things that happens to beginners is that they think when they've got something like this and you're going to draw on top of that, that you can't draw outside of it. And that's plane, you can draw stuff way over here if you want. You're still on that same plane. So don't worry that your circle is going to be going out, out beyond the surface that you're sketching on when you create that. All right, so you should have ended up with this shape. Okay, and again, I didn't show you step by step because you've already developed those skills. Now, we're going to do some checking to see if we made sure that this thing was the right size. So let's check to make sure the diameter is correct. Up here in Inspect, you've got a measure tool. Okay, if you click on a circle right there, it's going to give you a diameter, 1.25. Good. I can come up here and say, let's click on that one. It's going to give us some distances. Hitting escape gets you out of it. So you can also right click and say, I want to repeat measure. Let's see what the distance from this surface to that surface is. It will tell me 0.25. Okay, hitting escape again gets me out of there. I'm checking on all these things. Let's check this distance right here. This extrusion should have been 0.25 minus 0.5 minus 0.25. So that should really be 1.75. Now I purposely made a mistake. I'm going to say, let's repeat measure. Let's see how long that is. I made it 1.5. It was supposed to be 1.75. So I messed up. Guess I better start over again, right? Wrong. I'm not gonna tear down a house to replace a shingle, right? We're gonna go find that sketch or that extrusion in my timeline and see. And you'll notice when you measure, it'll actually show you what that's related to right down here. Look, there's a little mark right there. So I can go back to this extrude, double click on it. Oops, I have to escape to get out of that first. Double click on it, and I can change that to whatever I wanted it to be, 1.75. Good. So you can do that too after you've checked to make sure that everything is correct. If you need help, because it's not correct, get it before we move on. So now we've got these 3 holes that we're going to make. They each have a diameter of 0.25. They're going through. TYP means all of these are the same thing. It means typical. And we're locating those holes. They are along the center. That's what this line means that's lined up with this along the center. So, and then each one is 0.5 up from the next from this surface. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's how to do that. first of all, we want to make sure that we're looking at the front. We don't want to drill them over here. That would be the wrong view. We're going to drill them over here. So I'm going to click on the view cube to place front. We're going to sketch on this surface. Okay, why won't you give me a start? That's fine. I can come up here and say, let's start a new sketch on this surface. All right. So we're going to place 3 points. Now, under create, if you come down here, we're going to create a point. Now, I'm in the point command. That's what that little cursor shows. If you show this, see how I'm not clicking anything yet, but it does show we're lined up with the midpoint. And see that little blue line? That shows us that where we are there. And I'm going to click close to this little one that showed up. I don't know if you have numbers, but we're going to go just about a half an inch, and a half an inch up to place those. Now, those are all lined up with the middle because I use that little dashed line to line those up. Hit escape to get myself out of that point command. And now we're going to dimension using the dimension tool up here from this line down here to that first point. I'm going to drag kind of over here to the left is 0.5. And then from this point to that point is 0.5. And finally, from this point to that point is 0.5. Okay? We've got 3 points to put those holes on. So now we're going to finish sketch. Okay? Tilt it so we can look at it as always. And we're going to use a new command with the hole command. Now I could draw circles and extrude them through, but the hole command will make specific holes. And it's saying what sketch points do you want to be on? So you're going to click all 3 of those. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge. Obviously that hole is wrong, but we can adjust it. So if you take a look here at what's going on, notice it gives you a depth, okay? And it gives us a diameter. Now, right now it says we're going a distance. I don't want to go a distance. I want to go through all of it. So we're going to click all, okay? Leave the hole type what it is. Leave the drill point what it is. We don't need any of that stuff. Now, right now it's confused because it's bigger than the object itself. So we're going to change this diameter down here to, I believe it was 0.25. There we go. And it gives us a preview. It shows us where that is. And okay. All right. So this is activity 1.5, step 9. Get to where you can kind of see that those holes go all the way through like that. Get it over here. We haven't saved it yet. Let's do that first. Call it last name, first initial, and let's call this one Spool. Save. Make sure it pops up here with your name on it. Take a picture of that. You can get it kind of small so we're not taking up a lot of real estate with your picture. And let's turn that one